All right, guys, the title of today's video is Women Will Leave Relationships Knowing Which Guy is Next Up. In today's video, I'm going to be explaining to you how women are never truly single and they're always just monkey branching or moving on to the better guy. The fact of the matter is that 95% of the women you want are already in relationships and you're going to have to steal them. And the reason they're already in relationships is because men aren't stupid, right? The second that these men are meeting a remotely nice girl, right? A girl they want to be in a long term relationship with, they are snatching at the opportunity to make this girl their wife, right? To get in a long term relationship with her. However, women, right? They wake up, they roll over, they look over at the boyfriend that they're with currently, and they subconsciously think, is this the best man I can get? Is this seriously the best I can do? Me, right? They're looking in the mirror at the curves, right? And they're thinking, is this seriously the best I can do? Every single day of their life, they wake up and they subconsciously think this. Now, you might come to the same conclusion I did. Well, Tom, why are all these girls staying in these relationships with guys they don't want to be with, right? Well, the reason why they're staying in these relationships is because they're waiting until they meet someone else. Women are perpetually lonely, right? They need to be in a relationship, they need to be in a situation, they need to be seeing a guy to feel like they're being productive, right? And they're codependent at the end of the day, right? So instead of just dumping that guy, returning back onto the sexual marketplace single, right? Going out, meeting guys she doesn't want to talk to, meeting guys she doesn't want to interact with. Instead, she's going to stay with this guy until she meets someone better, until hypergamy tells her subconsciously, this man is better than the current boyfriend you are with. I want you to think about all the single girls you've met over your life, right? How many of the girls do you look at and think, oh, you deserve to be in a long term relationship? Right, there's a reason these women are single, and that's why I say to you, the best women that you want, because I imagine that you want a nice, sweet girl, right, who doesn't go out to the clubs every weekend, doesn't go out to the bars every weekend, right? You want a nice, respectable girl you can bring home to your mum, bring home to your dad, right? These girls that you're looking for are in relationships. They are just always looking for better. And that is the true hypergamy dark pill. So, what's going to happen over a long period of time is eventually this girl is going to meet someone who is her hypergamous best option, better than her current boyfriend. And then that current boyfriend is going to start hearing things like, I just don't feel the same way as I used to. Right, I think I've fallen out of love with you. Right, I just don't feel it anymore. You know the vibe. My heart just isn't in this anymore. Right, these are all the things that that boyfriend is going to hear, or ex-boyfriend soon to be. Right, she'll say things like, "Oh, I love you. I'm just not in love with you." Right, whatever that means. Right, what you guys have got to decipher from this womanese language is that she is moving on from that boyfriend. She's found a new, better option, and she's going to go ahead and monkey branch to that option, right? And in this period, you're probably thinking, well, she's not technically single. The reason I say it like this is because the women you want are never truly single, right? During this period, her mind is always occupied by her hypergamous best option, right? Her mind is always occupied by that one guy who's filling up her mental bandwidth, who's filling up her headspace. And now what she's going to do is she's going to look at the boyfriend that she's currently with and she's going to go, yeah, this isn't working out. Just not in love with you anymore. Blah, blah, blah. I think I'm going to break it off. Right. And within days, guys, within days, she's already a homing missile on that new option. She's seeking the relationship with the new guy. All this has been in the build up for months. Right, for months she's been talking to her new hypergamous best option. For months she's been talking to this new guy. But only now, when she grows the courage to actually realize, right, this is my best option, she's going to end it with the current boyfriend and move on to the other guy. And what she'll most likely do most of the time is she's going to wait and wait and wait until she is sure that she is going to get in a relationship with this new guy. She needs to make sure before she leaves this current guy that this new guy is game. What I need you guys to understand is that women can only be in love with one guy at any given time, right? Her mental bandwidth, her mental memory storage unit can only be taken up by one guy. It's impossible for her to be in love with that guy and in love with that guy. She can only have One, it's like when you're playing Call of Duty, right? And you unlock those better weapons, right? Those more powerful weapons, and you swap those out for the old ones, right? The old ones don't serve a purpose anymore, right? You had a few good KDs on them guns, right? You had a few good games. They did you well. But now you're moving on to the better weapon. So taking this into account, what do you need to do specifically? You need to be the guy she leaves her boyfriend for. You need to be her new hypergamous best option where she sits there, she looks at her current boyfriend and she goes, this guy is no longer the best I can do. And she moves on to you. And for every woman you meet, this is going to look different, right? There's nuance to this, guys. It's not just one suits all. Every single woman is going to establish her new hypergamous best in a different way. Let me give you an example. Let's imagine the first girl has a boyfriend. She loves drinking. She loves partying. She loves being a degenerate, right? And now she's adapted her life, right? She's moving on. She's moving on. She's adapted her life. She wants to become more productive. She wants to live a more healthier lifestyle, right? And the current boyfriend she's got still drinks, still smokes, still goes out, still likes to have fun. And she meets this new guy, right? And you come in and you happen to match her current way of thinking and her current lifestyle, right? You live a healthy lifestyle. You eat nice foods. You go to the gym. You look after yourself, right? You don't wear sun cream. So she now sees you as the better option and she will move on to you. The way she sees it from the female lens, the way she sees it in her life is that it's my time to move on. My thought process has changed. I'm moving on to a healthy lifestyle. Therefore, I need a new man with a healthier lifestyle who's going to push me to be better. Right? It's as easy as this, guys. The ex-boyfriend gets left behind. Let me give you another example, right? The second girl has a boyfriend, lives a peaceful life, works very hard, doesn't do much, has a couple hobbies, likes reading, right? Doesn't really leave the house that much. And she doesn't socialize and she doesn't really have fun, right? And her current boyfriend is the same. He's a homebody. He doesn't really do anything. She tries to get him to do stuff and he don't want to do it, right? Sat in the house bored, right? He just wants to keep himself to himself, maybe play a bit of video games, maybe scrolling his phone, right? Just keeping himself to himself. But this girl has a change of heart. This girl has a new mindset coming into the new year or a new month. And she starts to think, I want to have more fun. I want to have more excitement in my life. I'm up for anything, right? So I need to find a new suitor, a better option, right? Because at the end of the day, she's probably young. She probably wants to experience new things. So she needs to find a source for this. And this is where you come in, right? Because you're that fun, free spirit she's been looking for, right? You might be that bad boy archetype. You might be that fun guy, right? That club promoter, maybe. Maybe she's in that stage of her life where she just wants to have some bullshit fun. So what does she do? She'll look at you as her new hypergamous best option and you as the better option, even if you are broker than that other guy, even if you have less charisma than that other guy, even if you are not as good looking as that other guy. Because the stage of life that she's in right now, she looks at you and she thinks, I want to have more fun. I want to have more excitement in my life. So this guy is my new hypergamous best option. Every single thing in dating is nuanced. Guys, I need you to understand this. Every single girl is different. It depends what stage they're at in their life and what they're looking for. And this all comes in full circle. And this is why I tell you guys, women will leave relationships knowing which guy is next up. And this is why women, you'll find, move on 10 times quicker than you do. Because that new guy was lined up a long time ago. She met him a long time ago. She's been speaking to him for months. Right, she's been lining it up for months. She's been prepping herself, right? She's been bigging herself up to finally end the relationship she's in to move on to this new guy. What's constantly circulating in her head is, can I do better? Day after day after day. And the reason guys get caught is they don't see the little concessions that build up to her thinking this way. Right, at the end of the day, you need to take some accountability and you need to understand this is my fault. I have not exercised, I have not shown this woman that I am the hypergamous best. Therefore, she's going to monkey branch. Therefore, she's going to move on. If you enjoyed today's video, drop it a like, leave a comment, and subscribe to the channel for more. I love you.